We had 0 licensed childcare when this started. That's an area the size of the state of New Jersey with no licensed childcare. I said, we just need to start. We just need to do something and see where that goes.
When I was raising my kids, because I was a stay-at-home mom, I was asked probably once a month if I would bring kids in and watch them. And I didn't want to at first. I didn't want that commitment. But eventually, with so many people asking, I decided to open our home. There really wasn't any affordable care or care at all, really, in Baker at that time.
I have been a stay-at-home mom since 4 months after my first was born. I myself opened my home up for a couple kids, a couple summers, just because I knew how hard daycare is to find.
A parent came to us and said that childcare was an issue in Baker. EMETA, as an economic development group, thought that that's not economic development. Economic development is jobs and tourism and all this stuff. There wasn't really a knowledge of childcare in Fallon County. It had always kind of just been either mom or dad's taking care of the kids, or find grandma and grandpa. There's a few unlicensed childcare facilities in town that are fantastic, but they can't handle the capacity necessary. But people had always found a way. There was just that initial barrier of letting people know, like, no, life will be better with this. Like, sure, we're making it work, but do we have to make it work that way? Started off as, yeah, let's do some research and see if this really is an economic development project. So began with feasibility studies and needs assessments. We found out these insane numbers. 236 kids 0 to 5 in Fallon County. We found out that there were 34 available unlicensed childcare slots. The neat thing about a small town is you can literally go and ask people door to door, if we had childcare for you, would you use it now? We found 126 people said, yes, today, if there was childcare available, I would do that. So at that point, it became, this is something we absolutely have to do. Like, this is not a mom and dad need. This is an infrastructure for our community to run. Like, this needs to be done. In rural Montana, people like to talk face to face. It's funny in economic development, they say, oh, what are you gonna go out and do some bake sales? We started off with bake sales, really small. And then it was at that point where we started the Baker Child Care Project that 0 to 5 came around with their Community Innovations Pilot Project. And I found it, and I'm looking for anything I can do to try to get childcare off the ground in Baker. And that was a complete game changer for the project. It really was, because we really did go from just kind of casting about in the void, trying to figure out something that might work, to now we had some concrete advice, we had concrete support, people in the industry and people who were experienced with this that were assisting us. And they forced us to come up with some sort of a concrete plan. So we decided, well, let's go big on this. We got a $7.2 million bond issue on the ballot. Did not pass, but I'll tell you, if you want attention for your project, put a $7.2 million bond issue on the ballot. And we also, we pulled in 31% of the vote on that ballot. I think part of the attention that got Head Start was all the cool things that we were doing. And hey, we're gonna put this big bond issue on there. We got that attention from Head Start. We got some attention from the legislature, and our work with 0 to 5 put us in front of decision makers and people that could really help this project. And our work with 0 to 5 also gave us sort of that credibility. Like, all right, we've got these experts from 0 to 5, and then later Montana Child Care Business Connect, helping us work through the finances and working through financial projections and a business plan.
Head Start is a federal grant-funded program that began approximately 60 years ago. Action for Eastern Montana Head Start is 30 years old, and we have 4 sites, and Baker's now our 5th. Head Start is a very well-established program. We work a lot on social emotional development. It's not just ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. It's It's learning to communicate with your peers. It's getting those kids ready to transition to kindergarten and be as prepared as they can be for that next stage of life. One of the biggest catalysts for Baker getting chosen is a lot of the work that Vaughn had done with the Baker Child Care Project.
And then we just did it. And now, now we've got Head Start opening up, and our facility has gone through some more twists and turns. But the Amita facility is going to open up here shortly, and we'll have 38 new childcare slots in Baker. That's amazing. All of that research that we did at the beginning is what made this project where it is now. I'm at a point now where I can talk to you for an hour about the benefits of childcare and never mention children one time. That's what that research provided to us. We were able to take that research and present that to the decision makers and policy makers and get those important people to back this project.
There's a huge untapped workforce in this community of parents that could be working and can't because they don't have childcare or an option for their child.
We talked about all the people out of the workforce, over 800. If there's 10 out of 800 that were not currently working because they had lack of childcare, that's $1 million in extra wages. That's a bunch of money back into the tax coffers. That is every downtown business in Baker suddenly fully staffed. It's great to show those economic numbers and look at all these big things that we're doing, but breaking it down to that personal level and seeing the impact that this is already having it's super rewarding. Teachers and some of the staff and nurses at the hospital that are thrilled that they're finally going to have an opportunity to have childcare and be able to stay here, because there was some real concern, like, wow, I love Baker and now I can stay here. For all the work we've put into this, and now to hear those stories is just amazing. It makes it worth it.
Our wait list right now is actually about half full for all ages. Our infants are nearly full and our toddlers are nearly full. So that's really exciting and also kind of frustrating because I want to take everybody who needs help.
As a mom who gave up a full-time job because childcare wasn't available, it's been a relief to see that others have the opportunity. If they want to work, childcare is available now.
The future for the Baker Child Care Project, I think, is super bright. In fact, I know is super bright because we've gone through so many twists and turns and had to pivot this project so many times and never stopped. I've always hoped that Baker can kind of be a guiding light for other rural communities as far as how to get this done. I know the problem exists all over Montana. We had 0 licensed childcare when this started. That's an area the size of the state of New Jersey with no licensed childcare. I said, we just need to start. We just need to do something and see where that goes. And then whatever twists and turns and roadblocks we have to jump over, we'll be able to jump over those. But we had to start something. And that's what we did. And it's continued to build, and we've swerved and pivoted, and we've made it.
Zero to 5 and Montana Child Care Business Connect have been instrumental in getting this facility going.
Without that support of 0 to 5, I wouldn't have even known where to go or what to do or how to make this happen. Every time I had a question, they were able to answer it for me. I don't know where I would be without. We'd probably still be doing bake sales, if not for 0 to 5. It's been amazing.
So I would say any community or individual that's wanting to start a childcare or start conversations about how to solve childcare in their community, going to our website, childcarebusinessconnect.com. And no matter what stage somebody is at, we have a lot of resources. We can provide that support, and we also link to other resources. So there's a lot of other supports in the childcare industry as well. I think we just want people to know that that's what we're here for, to provide those supports and help make all of those connections, because we want sustainable childcare businesses across the state.